Sunbreak, as well as Monster Hunter Rise as a whole, has made elemental damage the focus of many weapons, making it more often than not, depending on your weapon of choice, optimal to use an element that the monster you're hunting is weak against. But sometimes it can be quite bothersome to have to craft various versions of the same set for each of the different elements. But what if I told you there's a new raw build after the latest Sunbreak title update that takes advantage of 4 or more of the newly added skills to make for an extremely potent but also comfortable and fun set capable of outperforming many other meta sets, especially when up against anomaly monsters. A build that will even shine in multiplayer, so it'll be a good option if you'd like to impress your friends. Hello hunters, my name is Dark Hero and today I have for you my new build for Sunbreak. The build we're using focuses on these 3 skills and tries to optimize how much damage you deal while keeping them active as much as possible. These skills are Adrenaline Rush, Status Trigger and Foray. This set can work with many different weapons, pretty much any that will take advantage of these skills, so weapons like bow and dual blades have a very easy time triggering Adrenaline Rush, but you can also comfortably do it with the lance, longsword or even switch axe. And as a bit of an addendum to my last video, you can actually trigger Adrenaline Rush by using wire step with the switch axe, which makes these builds that take advantage of Adrenaline Rush a lot stronger for this weapon. The first build I'm going to show you is a more basic version of the build that is easy to craft and doesn't require a special talisman or curio crafting, and the second build is a more optimized one that takes best in slot talismans as well as curio crafting. So if you want to know how this build looks like whenever it is optimized, stick around for the end. As you'll see, this build is very synergistic as all of these abilities combine together very well. Adrenaline Rush will give you a significant attack boost after performing a perfectly timed evade. Status Trigger, on the other hand, will make it so that you're able to activate the abnormal status on your weapon immediately after performing a well-timed evade. And Foray combines really well with Status Trigger as it will increase your attack power significantly whenever the monster you're hunting is affected by poison, paralysis or even an elemental blight. As you can see, Foray at level 3 will increase your attack power by 15 and affinity by 20%. That is an insanely powerful boost. Having different levels of Status Trigger may not be all that helpful. The skill will do exactly the same each time, however the window you have to proc the abnormal status of your weapon increases with each level. So at level 1 you will only have 5 seconds to proc your abnormal status of your weapon, but I believe 5 seconds is plenty when it comes to Monster Hunter and you should be able to attack the monster with no issues. The weapon we're using for this build is the Lucent Argacuga Dual Blades. They come with 330 attack, 10 poison, a little bit of purple sharpness, a level 4 decoration slot and a level 2 slot, as well as a single level 1 rampage slot. You'll notice that these dual blades only come with 10 poison, which is very low. For example, for comparison, the Chameleon's dual blades come with 47 poison. However, because of the skill Status Trigger, you will immediately proc the poison, so you don't really need to have a higher level of poison. That is only going to change how often it is going to proc and how fast the status builds up, so you don't really need to care about it. One thing to note about these dual blades is that since they come with a single level 1 rampage slot, you should upgrade that rampage slot to a level 2 through curious crafting, so you are able to slot in an anti-species decoration to increase your damage, and it's not like we were going to be able to use Elambane or even the Kushala Soul rampage decorations because we don't even get to level that up to level 3. Sadly, there is nothing else we can add with the spare anomaly slot that we have here, but with the future title updates I'm sure we'll be able to add even more slots and also add stuff like attack boost or affinity. So for the armor pieces, we're using the Golden Rathian helmet. It comes with 2 level 2 slots, Status Trigger level 2, Foray level 1 and Chain Crit level 2. The Lucent Argacuga chest piece comes with a level 3 slot and a level 1 slot, Sneak Attack level 1, Critical Boost 1 and Agitator 2. The Lucent Argacuga Vambraces come with 2 level 2 slots, Adrenaline Rush level 2 and Evade Window level 3. The Rathalos Coil comes with a level 2 slot, Attack Boost 2 and Critical Boost 1. And the final piece is the Ingot Greaves. They come with 2 level 1 slots and attack boost 2 and critical eye 2. For Talisman, something like this would be perfect. It comes with 3 levels of critical eye and a level 2 slot, and if possible you're also looking for other skills like attack boost, critical boost, weakness exploit, the whole deal. So after slotting the decorations, we end up with critical eye level 7 for 40% affinity, attack boost 4, agitator level 3, which is going to give us 12 attack and 7% affinity, critical boost 3, weakness exploit 3, poison attack 3 is because we don't really care about the extra poison buildup, but we do care about the extra poison procs that is going to increase our overall damage. Again, because of Foray, we really want to have poison active as long as possible to increase our damage. Razor Sharp is because, well, dual blades just go through a lot of sharpness, and even though we do have Iron Shine Silk as a way to regain sharpness for our weapon, I still find that you go through sharpness very fast with these dual blades. So I really do believe that it is worth it to add this to the build. However, if you do seem to manage without Razor Sharp, then by all means remove this and replace it with Agitator decorations, because that is going to increase your damage a lot. Windproof 3 is more so of a bonus, Evade Winnow level 3, which is going to work nicely because we need to evade in order to activate Adrenaline Rush and Foray, Defiance because we do have a couple of spare level 1 slots and this skill is very good for quality of life, Adrenaline Rush 2, we already talked about it, Chain Crit 2 is also going to increase your raw damage, Status Trigger 2, again we don't really need Status Trigger to be any higher than this, Focus level 1s because of the unoptimized talisman, but you may have a better one, Sneak Attack level 1 is going to increase our attack by 5% whenever you hit a monster from behind, but that is more so a bonus than anything. And again, Foray to increase our damage, sadly this skill cannot be obtained in decorations, but you can get it through Curious Crafting. And so, the build that I'm going to show you right after is going to be the better optimized version of this build. Think of it as one that uses best in slot augments and talismans. But before we get into that, if you are enjoying this video and all of the build videos I have been putting out, then consider subscribing to the channel and also liking the video for good luck in your augments. So, starting with the Gold Rathian helmet, as you can see right here, I got an extra point in Foray through the augments, but I also get a level 1 slot, recovery speed 1, at the cost of 1 level of status trigger. This is perfectly fine by me because, again, status trigger doesn't really need any higher than level 1. 5 seconds is plenty of time to be able to hit the monster after you dodge an attack and trigger the weapon's effect. Foray level 2 is a very big bonus from level 1 as it gives you 10% extra affinity. And ideally I would be able to get 2 extra points of Foray from the Curious Crafting augments because Foray at level 3 increases your attack power by 15 but also gives you 20% extra affinity. That's a lot of affinity just from this skill alone. If you combine this with Weakness Exploit, you'll be at 70% affinity without even needing Agitator. That is a very good bonus, and if you're able to, somehow, get Foray to level 3, that is going to help you immensely with this build. For the Lucent Argikuga chest piece, I got an extra point in Agitator, which is very good. You will also want to max out Agitator as the bonus attack and affinity you get keep increasing by a lot, and at level 5 that is extra 20 attack and 15% affinity whenever the skill is active, and that is a massive bonus for your set. My Lucent Argikuga fan braces, I got Weakness Exploit level 1, which is very nice. It's another level 2 slot that I can use without needing to slot in Weakness Exploit. And the same goes for the Rathlow's Waste, which I got with another point of Critical Eye level 1. In case you don't know, the lower rarity your armor piece, the higher the better augments you can get out of it, and this one is just fantastic. I got the upgrade from a level 1 slot to a level 3 slot, and I also got an additional level 1 slot, and as you can see, I also got Chain Crit level 1. Now, Chain Crit isn't necessarily amazing for this build, Again, I would prefer to have Foray or Agitator, but Chain Crit is a fantastic skill by itself, as it is greatly going to increase your raw damage. And because these dual blades don't really use elemental damage, well, it just works really well with them. And for my talisman, I have this one that comes with Weakness Exploit level 2 and Wirebug Whisperer level 3. So with this talisman, I gain access to Wirebug Whisperer, which I didn't have access to it before using this talisman, and I also gain Weakness Exploit level 3 without having to slot a single Weakness Exploit decoration. Again, maxing out Agitator would be more beneficial. Think of Wirebug Whisperer as a bonus more so than anything. With this build, I don't even get to use my Silk Binds a whole lot, but it is a very nice skill to have. So as you can see right there, I end up with Critical Eye level 7, Agitator level 5 for this insane bonus, Attack Boost 4, Critical Boost 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Poison Attack 3, Razor Sharp 3, Evade Window level 3, Wirebug Whisperer 3. Defiance 3 is actually a very good quality of life skill, as it now negates strong roars. So if you somehow manage to miss the timing for the perfect evade, or you do actually get to do the perfect evade but you still get hit by the roar, that happens sometimes, you will not be stun locked by the roar thanks to Defiance. Chain Crit level 3 for the extra raw damage, Adrenaline Rush level 2 to increase our damage, Foray level 2, which again, if you can get Foray level 3, that is going to be the best. Evade Extender 1, I really like having 1 point of Evade Extender whenever I'm using a build that is about Adrenaline Rush, and also Status Trigger. And speaking of which, I now have Status Trigger level 1 and Sneak Attack level 1. This is a very similar build to the one I showcased in my previous video, however, of course this one is more so focused on poison, and because of it, you can pretty much take this build to whichever hunt you want to, without having to worry about the monster's element. Of course, some monsters are more resistant to poison than others, so you will need to keep that in mind. Something else I want to mention is that with this build you should always have Feral Demon mode equipped, as you will be doing damage each time you dodge, and this build is focused a lot around dodging. So that would be extra damage that you would be missing out on if you were to go with Demon mode. And as you can see, I have my first scroll with Demon Flurry Rush and the second one with Demon Flight, because what I'll often do is I'll have the red scroll active until I get to trigger Adrenaline Rush as well as Status Trigger. Then I will change to the blue scroll and have Demon Flight, because it simply deals a lot more damage than having Demon Flurry Rush. And of course I have Iron Shine Silk in one of these loadouts and Shrouded Vault in the other. This is a very comfortable and fun build to use, not to mention how powerful it is, being the strongest raw damaging dual blades you can have. It is going to excel whenever you're hunting anomaly monsters because they have a larger HP pool, so you'll be able to trigger more poison throughout the hunt, and that tech damage is going to add up, because you yourself will be proccing poison, and your teammates as well as their Palico or Palamutes may also trigger additional effects, which will make you have Foray for a longer period of time. And also because monsters in multiplayer have larger HP pools, it also means that the poison is going to be more effective. Not that poison deals any more damage the higher the HP of the monster is, but it means that you'll be able to have the poison active for longer periods of time, and so you'll get more value out of your skills. I'm very excited about the first title update that we got in Sunbreak because of all of these different playstyles that we now have available for us to use. If you guys have any recommendations for different builds for me to try out, let me know in the comment section below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Dark Hero, and as always, happy hunting.